Fege Senziewska, 8 years old, Poland.
Elizabeth Rosenthal, 15 years old, Germany. Nina Seligman, בת 9, הולנד. Marianne Rosenthal, 16 Jahre alt, Deutschland.
Etia Weber, 5 years old, Czechoslovakia. עמנואל בקמן, בן 14, פולין. אריק בקנשטיין, בן 16, פולין.
Yad Vashem, a world of symbols, a world of memories, a world of testimony. People of all races, religions, and nationalities, 300,000 annually, pass through its exhibits, pause before its documents, pale in the wake of its evidence, and tremble in the presence of its ghosts. And they all continue on their ways, carrying but one question in their hearts. Why?
The Führer has ordered us to prepare the final solution of the Jewish question.
The final solution. Nazi Germany's plan for the extermination of the Jewish people turned Europe into a mass grave for 6 million Jewish men, women, and children, 1.5 million children. Why?
That bit of filth and dirty walls and all around barbed wire. I was once a little child 3 years ago, that child who longed for other worlds. But now I am no more a child, for I have learned to hate. I am a grown-up person now. I have known fear. Bloody words and a dead day then, that's something different than boogeymen. But anyway, I still believe I only sleep today, and I'll wake up a child again and start to laugh and play. How tragic then is youth which lives with enemies, with gallows ropes. How tragic then for children on your lap to say, this for the good, that for the bad. Somewhere far away out there, childhood sweetly sleeps. Along that path among the trees, there o'er that house which was once my pride and joy. There my mother gave me birth into this world, so I could weep. In the flame of candles by my bed I sleep, and once perhaps I'll understand that I was such a little thing, as little as this song.
Yad Vashem, a memorial to 6 million who perished and a monument of remembrance for those who survive. A world of symbols and a world of memories. The eternal light burns in front of a vault holding the ashes of martyrs gathered from most of the death camps.
I'd like to go away alone, where there are other, nicer people, somewhere into the far unknown. There, where no one kills another. Maybe more of us, 1,000 strong, will reach this goal before too long.
They were only children. They were expelled from their schools for no offense other than the offense their presence gave others. Instead of being awarded gold stars for their studious minds, they were forced to wear yellow ones over their hearts. They were squeezed from warm beds to cold floors, to stifling cattle cars. They were badgered and beaten, ridiculed and robbed, degraded and dehumanized. They were only children, but they bore and witnessed the worst life could offer. They saw their persecutors delight in their own cruelty. They saw their elders stripped of their garments and their dignity. With their families, they endured inexpressible hunger, filth, and fear. With them, they suffered humiliation and pain. They were only children, but sadly, helplessly, they observed their parents' guilt, guilty of being guilty without due process of law. And with them, they were condemned to die.
Paul Adler, 6 years old, Romania.
The Children's Memorial commemorates the 1.5 million Jewish children whose lives were extinguished during the Holocaust. In their memory, 5 candles, reflected with mirrors, project 1.5 million memorial lights. The names, ages, and origins of 500,000 of the children are recited without interruption. It will take more than 3 years before any name is repeated.
Albert Conforti, Ben Esser, Yugoslavia.
The cut-off granite pillars at the memorial's entrance ask us to recall, and never to forget, the 1.5 million young lives that were so abruptly cut off, and what they might have contributed to the world, what pillars of society they might have been, had they been allowed to stand straight. The Yad Vashem Martyrs and Heroes Remembrance Authority was established in 1953 by special Knesset law for the study, commemoration, and preservation of the history of the Holocaust. Situated on 10 acres atop the Mount of Remembrance in the hills of Jerusalem, the Yad Vashem Memorial consists of museums, halls, galleries, gardens, monuments, libraries, archives, research centers, administrative offices, an auditorium, and a synagogue. In Yad Vashem's Historical Museum, the story of the Holocaust is told by printed explanations that accompany authentic photographs and films, artifacts, documents, maps, and charts. The displays are arranged chronologically, beginning with Hitler's rise to power in 1933, through Germany's territorial expansion, the persecutions of Germany's Jews, the outbreak of World War II, the advent of the ghettos, the struggle for cultural survival and armed resistance, the transports to the concentration and extermination camps, forced labor, monstrous medical experiments performed on camp inmates, mass murder by gas chambers and crematoriums, the liberation of the camps, and finally the first efforts of the victims to reach Palestine. The Hall of Names commemorates the millions of Jews who perished at the hands of the Nazis and their collaborators. To date, over 3 million names have been recorded in the pages of testimony by surviving relatives and friends, and filed alphabetically. Sons and daughters, parents and children, other relations feared lost or dead have been found and reunited with their families through these registries. The tree-lined path leading to the museums is named the Avenue of the Righteous, to honor Gentiles who risked their own lives to save Jewish ones. Yad Vashem's Department for the Righteous Among the Nations is committed to recognizing these courageous people. Thus far, more than 7,000 men and women from all parts of Europe have been counted with the righteous among the nations. Throughout the grounds and gardens of Yad Vashem, testaments of courage abound. The Pillar of Heroism commemorates Jewish resistance during the Holocaust. The Wall of Remembrance consists of the Ghetto Uprising, recalling the Warsaw Revolt, and the Last March, depicting the final deportations of Jews to the death camps. Red bricks symbolize the ghetto walls. The Auschwitz monument, fashioned to resemble a chimney, is inscribed with the authentic numbers of Auschwitz inmates.
My heart still beats inside my breast, while friends depart for other worlds. Perhaps it's better, who can say, than watching this to die today. No, no, my God, we want to live, not watch our numbers melt away. We want to have a better world. We want to work. We must not die.
In prayer we say, strong was the faith of those who stood here before us. They fell only to rise again. In the ghettos and in the camps, they never stopped educating their children. Today, to promote understanding and cooperation between all peoples, we seek to educate all our children everywhere. Part of that education is to comprehend what the world is deprived of with the loss of even one of its children. What future statesman, humanitarian, artist, citizen, parent For 1.5 million Jewish children of the past, for countless other children, for all the future children and the grandchildren that might have been, there was no tomorrow. If the rest of us forget the lost promise of yesterday, what kind of tomorrow will there be for any of us? Yad Vashem is dedicated to preserving the past to ensure the future.
And then I looked at the number, 6 million Jews, didn't it say 6 million? And I was like, oh my God, I saw Russia, all those lives, all those children. And when I went to the Children's Memorial, that just blew me away, because I couldn't believe that people stood by and watched children die.
Could it happen again?
Klansmen marched this weekend in Georgia and South Carolina.
The KKK. The KKK.
The guerrilla war continues to take a terrible toll on a nation still in shock from the genocide which ended only 8 years ago. New mass graves are being unearthed all the time. It is now estimated that 3 million lost their lives.
Human rights groups say nearly 30,000 have been arrested in the past 2.5 years. Courts which overturn security legislation are often overruled by the government.
They have marched alongside the Ku Klux Klan in Tennessee. They fought in the streets near Detroit and been arrested for making terrorist threats in Los Angeles. They are young neo-Nazis who call themselves skinheads, and they have been tied to violent acts against Jews, blacks, and Hispanics from coast to coast.
Why? Why?
It doesn't matter about color, religion, race, culture, anything. People are people, and they should stand together, no matter what.
Hey, try to open up your heart to beauty. Go to the woods someday and weave a wreath of memory there. Then if the tears obscure your way, you'll know how wonderful it is to be alive.